Welcome back to another Pokemon ranking. Today I'll be ranking the Kanto Dex, the OG 151. We did 63 last time. They were all either pre-evolutions or base evolutions, and I ranked them from a scale of love with all of my heart to intense dislike. Nobody made it to hate. I don't hate any of these Pokemon with my heart. It gets close though. Subscribe if you want to see more Pokemon rankings as well as just gaming content. I got some great gaming commentaries lately, some game reviews, and I've been going over my games beat every week on Saturday night or Sunday morning. So exciting! Also, Donkey Kong's in the corner just hanging about. So I'll go ahead and get that off screen. Just to recap a little bit, I think I agree with the majority of my assessments. The only thing I'm thinking is if nobody makes it to hate, I may need to add a category really like at the end and just, move some of these guys up and maybe some of these guys down. But these top 5 for sure are all loves. With, honestly, Pinsir, he's going right here. He's going next to Scyther. That's wrong for him not to be there. In fact, I use Pinsir more, but I think I love Scyther more. I would love the opportunity to use him more. I feel like I just don't get it. Spearow is just, he's a classic one to me. He's just somewhere in between like and love, so that's a really like for me, to be honest. And so is Growlithe, if I'm thinking about it. Wow. Spearow is blowing gusts in the window right now. I don't know if you can hear it, but because I got music playing, but it's going to bother the hell out of me. So let me go fix that. Great. All right, so let's get to it then. Next, in terms of the pre-evolutions, it looks like we closed off right around here. We have Tauros. I know I definitely like Tauros. And he's very strong, and he could definitely be used. But in terms of typing, I don't think of a lot of normal types as my type. They're exactly as the label describes. They're very normal. So, I like Tauros. He's fine, and he can do some moves. But I've never really used a Tauros or got super excited about using one either. The lack of an evolution as well makes it less kind of epic when you get him. He's just kind of as good as he is, But you could definitely do some good moves on him. I mean, I think of like Stomp for him, Horn Attack. These are not strong moves. Maybe Earthquake, but then you're not even getting stabbed. So, Next up, we have Magikarp. Oh, that brings a smile to my face. But it kind of stupid to just run into in the wild. They give you no XP, and I think the number of times that I use a fishing rod and want it not to be Magikarp kind of affects my decision. But you also have to love it for how stupid it is. Like, there's nothing as dumb as Magikarp in the original Dex. And it's dumb fun. It's not dumb. I think Farfetch is just a dumb. So is Tangela. But Magikarp is like, Carp. Like, it's just really dumb and in a fun way. You could buy a Magikarp right before entering the Moon Cave. Was that what it's called? Moon Cave? That can't be right. Well, that area right after Pewter in that cave, and you could buy him for 500 yen, and the guy's like super, he's like, this is a great deal, once in a lifetime, and he ends up being level 5, getting nothing but tackle till like level 15 or something. You basically have to XP share or switch him out in between in your party, but you're rewarded so immensely with the Gyarados. I think the addition of some narrative significance here really does bump up Magikarp for me above a lot of these guys, and the cute dumb factor is really high too. He's probably right here next to Slowpoke. I just think that the dullness factor does affect him in some ways. Oh, I run into him a little too much. But my gosh, Magikarp's a clinch hitter here. I love that. Let's see who we got next here. Lapras. Get a Lapras dance. Lapras is he's very strong. You know, I mean, when you fight Lorelei in terms of the Elite Four, that Lapras is a monster, and I think the ice typing helps. Maybe the second ice type that I've had here. I don't love the design, but I guess I like the concept. I think of the Mario 64 dinosaur when I think of Lapras. You know, the one that like swims around in the basement. But I do think of Lapras as kind of like the surfer. Like if you bust out a surfing type Pokemon, Lapras is going to be the one that carries you across the ocean. Maybe it's because of the anime movie. I don't know, but Lapras doesn't like evoke much from me. I don't get super excited about a Lapras. I'd rather cross the oceans on my Blastoise. You know, that sounds cooler. So Lapras can kind of just remain at a low like, but I like you. You're fine. I would use you in my team. Next up, we have Ditto. I am very neutral on Ditto. I don't dislike Ditto, but I do think it's dumb. It is great for breeding, but that doesn't make me love it per se. I'm not like, yes, I got a Ditto on my team. The fact it only gets transformed basically puts it at a disadvantage. So I think it's kind of useless. I would never raise a Ditto on my team, but I don't attribute the downfall of Pokemon typing to you like I do Clefairy, so you're fine where you are. Eevee, oh, you're so cute. Oh my gosh. But I don't think I have you over Magikarp, if I'm going to be honest. Eevee is kind of a necessity in terms of the future line, but as the Eevee itself, I mean, it is probably the best design of the evolutions in Gen 1. Come on, the thing is adorable, but in terms of utility, I'm not crazy about it. I also don't love raising the Eevee in Gen 2 to become your Espeon, your Umbreon, which are probably going to be the tops of my evolutions anyway. I think I get more of a smile out of Magikarp than I do Eevee, but I do love / like Eevee. You're in a really like category, so I'm seeing really like already with these 5. Maybe we close off today that way. Oh, I'm seeing some good ones. This is gonna get good, y'all. Porygon is not one of them. Porygon is unnecessarily expensive in the game corner for it to be relatively useful. I don't like hate Porygon when I see it. I kind of just dislike the fact that it's so inaccessible that you have to play slots or just keep trading money for coins for like $9.99. That's worse than Scyther's cost. And you can catch Scyther in the Safari Zone at least. Porygon is nowhere. And Porygon's not like a great reward either. He's not going to break the game in terms of any way I can think of. I guess Hyper Beam might be good, but Porygon. I do like the look though. The Polygon look, the Porygon look. That's kind of cool. The idea of like the science created Pokemon is awesome too. I think I have you over Ditto, over Drowsy, over Tentacool, over Seal. It's a toss up between you and Jigglypuff. You're probably higher. You're higher than Horsey, Staryu, Shelder, Ponyta. Coughing, but you're under Psyduck. I think Psyduck taps you out, and he's got that kind of psychic look to him too. Porygon's middle and neutral. Who's next? Ammonite. You know, I probably get Ammonite more on accident than I do intentionally with the fossils. It's Helix and Dome. I think Helix is Ammonite, and Ammonite's fine as like a little archaic shell Pokemon, but and I don't dislike him in any means. Definitely higher than Porygon. Definitely over Psyduck, Chansey, Execute, Vulpix. I think I like Psyduck. I do like Psyduck. You shouldn't be so neutral for me. I think you should be higher. I do like Ammonite more than Tauros, more than Lapras, more than Diglett, Poliwag. I love the idea of the fossil Pokemon. In terms of utility, it's just a little low. Probably over Pikachu, over Pidgey. You're going to be over these guys. Over Bulbasaur. Wow, you're actually higher than I anticipated. But you're not going to be higher than your next one. I'll tell you that much. You're over Ghastly. You're under Nidoran, though. Nidoran's looking at you like, don't you dare, don't you dare. But the next one's definitely going higher, and that's Kabuto. Come on, this thing has laser eyes. I love Kabuto. He's higher than Spearow. I can already look at the list and say that for sure. I am always so stoked to get a Kabuto. He might be one of the cuter Pokemons as well. And I don't know how useful he is on a team for me, but I think I'm always excited to have a Kabuto on a team for me. A lot of these cute ones are kind of throwing me a loop, but he's in the love for sure. Oh, it's Aerodactyl first. I feel like we should wait on a lot of these guys. I'm going to skip Aerodactyl till we do legendaries. It doesn't feel right to do him before Amistar and Kabutops. We could do Snorlax. I'll do Snorlax for sure. I like Snorlax. He's just a little slow for my liking. But he is tanky, boy. He is a tanky boy. I just don't love the rest thing. Like, oh, let's rest and recover all our HP so you can do it again. I don't get stoked playing a Snorlax. But my goodness, Body Slam on this guy, monstrous. Leftovers, excellent. And I guess you could do the rest and berry combo to make him kind of like really handle a lot of stuff. I think it's a Lumberry. I'm not sure. That will alleviate all stats. He is super useful in that way. But, no, you're over Bulbasaur. But you're under Ammonite. I think I like Ammonite more. This might all get reordered later. We'll see. Oh no, my coffee's on my desk. The one downside of doing splits while playing the music is that it's going to sound jarring. I apologize for that, but you gotta deal with that. Dratini is number 1. Oh my god, I love Dratini. Dude, if I could raise a Dratini from the start of the game, I would. You got the adorable eyes. Look at the pattern here. Eyes, eyes, eyes. They all got like the doggy eyes, but yeah. Dude, if you can't tell, that's supposed to be Dratini on my wall. It just fell over, and it's a pain in the behind to get it back on the wall, but Dratini is number 1. Dragon typing in this game. I will take the time, even if you catch Dratini at the end of the game, which I feel like in Gen 2 is kind of the case by like Badge 8. Or if you catch him in Safari Zone, I think is another option. Or you can actually, I think you can fish him in the 8th area for Gen 2. But I am so excited to drop all the other Pokemon and raise Dratini to become the ultimate dragon Pokemon, Dragon Knight. So yeah, Dratini is number 1 for me, for sure. So far. Important addendum. And these guys we're going to skip for now and come back to. So now we are at the secondary evolutions here. Excited to see where this goes. And I didn't anticipate being like phlegmy in the back of my throat. Hopefully that kind of just holds out. So thank you everybody for bearing with me. I am very neutral on Ivysaur. I like Bulbasaur more than Ivysaur. Ivysaur is just a little basic for me, although the color contrast is a little better. I think I like the darker blue a little more. And he's stronger, so I can't be mad at that. The petal blooming is a nice effect. And he's not useless. I do like Ivysaur a bit, so he's in like for sure. Charmeleon. I'm actually kind of high neutral on Charmeleon. No, but he should be next to Magmar. Magmar is dumber, but Charmeleon is also kind of dumb. He's a little edgy, which I like. He looks mad. It plays into his theme in the anime, but I don't necessarily like that. I don't like the kind of like... I know he's a lizard, so like scaly look makes sense, but he almost looks bald with like the cone head effect, which I don't love. The dark red gives him kind of like a Barney vibe, so... I can't say I'm super mad that I'm using Charmeleon. I'm actually fine with it, but you're kind of a low like for me. Still like you, would still use you, but Charmander is just kind of aesthetically more pleasing for me, which is surprising. I have Charmander so high, but Charmeleon much lower. But don't worry, we know where Charizard's going. Wartortle though, Wartortle might be freaking top of the. Yo, we're we're switching things up today. Wartortle might have the best design in the whole game. It's a shame that, like, I think when you get to Blastoise, I will see, but Wartortle with the angel ears, the angel tail, the surfer look, I'm ready for action. Who thought you could make Squirtle Squad cooler? But you can. Wartortle is ready for war. My godness. Yeah, exactly. My godness. I never knew he was so good until really looking at this list. Man, I got appreciation for Wartortle. Holy smokes. I would still go Charmander first. This is an all mismatch. Charmander here, Charmeleon here, Squirtle here, Wartortle here. Bulbasaur, Ivysaur right next to each other. Oh well, Metapod. You suck. I don't hate you. I don't like you. So you're definitely dislike, but your derpiness, you know, keeps you kind of high. I think I don't like you. I don't like you more than Abra though. Oh well. Kakuna though, I kind of like the poison aesthetic, but yeah, this is kind of a perfect placing for you. The fact all you do is harden, string shot, poison sting. Poison sting makes you a little more useful. At least you're kind of going places. I mean, we'll come back to the other two here, but Kakuna's all right as a dislike. I think I'd rather raise a Rattata or Oddish over Kakuna though. Pidgeotto, kind of just neutral. Probably raise you over these guys, but you're not better than Rhyhorn. You're kind of just a mid-bird. Raticate, I would never go, oh yes, Raticate, the perfect addition for my team. Even though he's like an early level up, he just kind of gets the shit end of the stick. Yeah. So Raticate sucks. I think I kind of actually dislike you more than Rattata because I'm not like super stoked to use you even. It's not that you're that incompetent. You can be competent, but sheesh, man, Raticate. What are we doing here? Oh, it's getting good. We got Fearow in the building. I feel like design is important. I feel like the fact that he looks more like a chicken than a sparrow does affect my love of him, but I love using him. He is a perfect drill pecker for the game, for your flying type, and I definitely cleared a lot of Pokemon Stadium that way with Drill Peck Fearow, but in looking back, I think Growlithe might be cooler than you. I think I like him more, but Spearow's higher. I kind of just wish that Fearow maintained the Spearow look. I don't know how they do that. Next up, we got Arbok. Arbok the Cobra. Okay, so despite the naming thing being a problem for me for Ekans, I don't think it's as much for Arbok. I think it kind of works. I think I've been more excited to use Arbok lately. I actually did use one in my Gen 2 playthrough very recently. And Glare is OP. The design, from the design standpoint, the eyes under the, I don't know what you call this, the head part of the snake, make him kind of intimidating. And you know, he's becoming a new favorite. Like I said last time, I got a poison problem. I like a lot of these poison guys. Do I like you more than Ghastly? Probably not. So this is kind of a perfect placing for you, but I think I'm more prone to use you now than a Snorlax. I've used Snorlax a lot in the past, but Arbok's kind of cool in this way. Oh, it's getting good. All these secondary evolutions are it, man. We got Raichu in the building. I'm not like super stoked to use a Raichu though, but I do like him. I think I like him more than Pikachu. Hot take. More than Voltorb? Yeah. I think he belongs with Electabuzz. Just because I think in terms of theming, the Thunderbolts on the body and the Thunderbolt tail do make him a bit formidable. Like, and the Thunderbolt ears, it's got a great design, and using Thunderbolt as a Raichu, super fast. Maybe one I haven't used enough. I feel like I should use more Raichus in my playthroughs. Rhymed unintentionally, but it kind of worked out. Probably over Onix, Mankey, Sandshrew. I think you're over Arbok. I think I really like Raichu now. I don't know. I'm looking at him. I'm like, that's a Pokemon. That's one that I should use more. And if you get a Surfing Pikachu and you evolve that thing to Raichu with a surfboard that's surfing, oh, I don't know if you could do it, but that'd be pretty cool. He's over Fearow. Yeah, but he's got to be under Growlithe. Growlithe's just cool. Coolness factor supersedes Raichu. I hope you don't hear that leaf blower out there. Worst case scenario, I don't know what I do, but I just post it. It's probably the worst case. What are we at, 21 minutes? Tell you what, I'm going to pause and listen back, see if this is bad. So apparently all of these sounds are bothering me more than they are you from what I'm hearing. So I'm just going to put my headphones on, try not to be bothered. Enjoy the sounds of some Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Very exciting. Where do we leave off? Oh boy, we got some goodies. It's Sandslash. I can't even remember the name. I don't think I like him more than Sandshrew. Sandshrew has this like pattern design that I think is kind of cool, whereas Sandslash, I guess he opens up in like the hedgehog manner, but the moves don't justify the means. Kind of like similar with Sandshrew. I guess you could teach him TMs. Earthquake would be kind of good on him, but he's still weak. I kind of am disappointed in Sandslash for not being better. I think I put him under a lot of these guys, actually. I'll even give Geodude the edge. Okay, who's next? Nidorina female. You're just like a weird intermediary between Nidoran female and the queen herself. So I don't love you. I think I really kind of dislike you, but not like I'm attributing some major fault to you either. I'm just kind of underwhelmed by you. And with Nidorino, it's similar. You're fine, but I think your design makes more sense. So I relatively like you, and I think I'm excited to get you like for that Brock battle. Like you're an easy level up for him if I have the Charmander. But I'm not really like thinking about Nidorino much going forward unless I'm going for the king. So, you know, they're both kind of relatively low for me. Clefable is Clefairy Plus. Why are you flashing me? You're a little scary. I kind of don't like you. I don't like fighting you. I don't like using you as a teammate, either normal or fairy. Yeah, you kind of just suck. I don't like you at all. I feel like I should go to Wigglytuff next, so let's do that. Yeah, I think Jigglypuff has some significance here. Wigglytuff does not. I think I'm just kind of annoyed by Wigglytuff. You're like opening arms trying to smother me. I don't. You two belong right in dislike. You're not high for me. Might even put Eradicate over both of you. Crazy. At least these two have a cuteness factor. You two just kind of pissed me off. You thought you were cute once, and then you grew up. Okay. Ninetales is kind of epic. I do like a Ninetales. I just don't use you a lot, but you make more sense to me than both of these guys. Lapras might be cooler. Yeah, and you know what? Ninetales is going to be right for some people. I'm just not one of those people, and that's totally fine. I don't mind that at all. Next up, we got Golbat. Kind of really neutral on you. I mean, to me, Crobat's super cool. Golbat, I think I like less than Zubat. Zubat aesthetically is kind of cooler. No eyes, just sonar. It makes more sense to me. Golbat, I go, what's going on here? And then I think you go back to original style for Crobat. So when we get to Gen 2 ranking, we'll talk about Crobat. But for now, Golbat's not high. He's a relative neutral for me. I actually feel bad having Zubat so low. I feel like he should be higher. I want to wait on switches. Not too many, but that one I want to wait on. Next up, we got Gloom. Gloom and Doom, baby. You're over the fairies, for sure. The slowness bothers me. The drooling. I guess it's like acidic or whatever. But yeah, I don't know if I'd be excited for you or Nidorina female. You both are kind of But you're higher than Ditto, that's for sure. Higher than Drowsy. You're right there with Tentacool. I think I'd raise you over Tentacool. The derpy faces look too good together. I feel like you belong together. You're a perfect match. You belong in the daycare center, my guys. All right, next up we got Parasect. Never really appreciated Parasect. Not gonna lie. Higher than Paras though. I think Parasect's a bit more formidable, giving me the full grown-in mushroom look, the spores as eyes, and the crab claws. I'm not hating on it. I just think that you are incredibly hard to raise for some reason. I don't know what to give you. You're not a Razor Leaf, or you're special attacker. So what is it, Solar Beam? But then Solar Beam is so annoying to use. You got to wait for second turn. I guess there are items that counter that, but the Spore is really the only thing that makes you kind of useful, and that's for catching Pokemon. I don't know. And you're slow, and your grass. Grass is so susceptible to so many things. It's just by virtue of a lot of your types, but design-wise, you are pretty high. You're higher than Gloom. Higher than these guys. I think you're right by Psyduck. You know, Psyduck reminds me of that Dragon Quest monster, the Platypunk. Psyduck versus Platypunk would be kind of I think it would be good to do some versus matches with Dragon Quest monsters and Pokemon. That could be a good little matchup too. All right, who's next? We got Venomoth. Venomoth. Oh, yeah, see, you're higher than Parasect for sure. Higher than these guys. Higher than Ekans. Higher than Doduo. You're higher than Rhyhorn. Yeah, you're not neutral. I do like you, actually. I don't know why I'm looking at neutrals here. The list is so big, it's kind of hard to even consider. So I think you're a justified evolution. So, like, when I'm looking at Venonat, right? Like, Venonat's like a little gnat, and then you become a moth. And then, like, the moth has similar physical characteristics to the gnat. The gnat's like a more of a dark purple. I do like both of you a lot aesthetically. And I think you're definitely more formidable than, like, a Pidgey, a Sandslash, a Geodude. I'd be more excited for you than a Voltorb. But then I get into the fact that, like, your best moves can be Psychic and, like, Confusion and stuff. So then I'm like, why? I guess you could do Bug Buzz. Maybe you could do Sludge or something. There's probably ways to use you. I don't know. But I think I'd be happier using you over some of these guys. And you make sense aesthetically. Not Electabuzz, though. I think Electabuzz makes more sense. He's a little too standard, though. Whereas I think Venomoth leaves some room for mystery and things to be discovered. You're probably over Snorlax for me. Are you over Arbok? I think you're right next to each other. This is where it gets a little tricky for me. Arbok is intimidating. He's got Intimidate, right? You know, as an ability. But then Glare. He's got a good scare with the Glare. Venomoth, I don't know what you do yet. You have room to be higher. But we got Poison, Poison, Poison. Poison, Poison. No poisons in the love, though. That's kind of wild. Okay. Maybe in the future. We'll see. I see some good poisons here. Dugtrio. I don't understand the dislike for Dugtrio. I don't necessarily think you're bad. In fact, you're one I've used a lot of times for your level up, for your ability to get Earthquake, just because of your proximity to Lieutenant Surge. And 3 Diglets sticking together, hey, I don't care. That's fine. But I do kind of go, like, I still don't get what the mole thing is. Like, to me, you got a very clear mole in Sandshrew than you do in Diglett. So, aesthetically, I've never been like, yes, Dugtrio. I've been more like, okay, useful party member. Dugtrio. Next up, we got Persian. Naming's weird there. Meowth, I don't know. They're both, I get it, it's like a meowing type or whatever. But, you know, my first shiny was a Persian, or Meowth. That I leveled on a Persian, and it looked exactly the same. The hue was barely any different. The fact your best moves are like Slash, you got Payday or whatever. I just don't care. I can't see how you use Persian in a way that's like particularly awesome. Normal is kind of at a disadvantage unless you're paired with another type, like a normal Ghost or something could be cool. But this ain't it. Sorry, Persian. Next up, we got Golduck. I think I'm more mad at you than I am at Psyduck for lacking a secondary typing. You really do deserve a psychic typing, and you don't get it. Because I just attribute like psychic type moves to you. Same as I do to Venomoth, but Venomoth makes up for it. Golduck is kind of just one of the whacker water types. Now, look-wise, he's a great look. He's probably over a lot of these guys. And so for utility's sake as well, like Golduck's going to be higher than Ponyta. Higher than Coughing, maybe. Maybe not. I'm happy to keep Coughing over Golduck. So, there you go. Prime Ape, the original, the Prime. He's a monster, but I think I'm kind of done with Mankey by like the beginning section with Brock. And then once you can get a lot of these other fighting guys, your Hitmonchan and your Hitmonlee, they're a little bit more exciting. But I will say he is just your very traditional, like straight in the gym boxing type, which I respect. He's a monkey gone wild, so a primate gone wild. And I kind of respect that. I just kind of wish that you held more of a candle to these guys because they are quite a bit stronger. So you're over Voltorb, but not better than Hitmonchan or Hitmonlee for me, or Mr. Mime. Arcanine. Oh my god, I do not hate Arcanine, that's for sure. He's got to be over Growlithe. He's a love. He's a monster dog. Oh my gosh, he's the legend. He might as well be a legendary. Hell yeah. Arcanine is the GOAT. Come on. If you could have an Arcanine with extreme speed and flamethrower and fire blast and sunny day on your team, would you? Yeah, you would. You could have Roar on there as like a safety precaution. But I just think of like this majestic dog Pokemon. The shiny is gold. This thing is so cool, man. He's gotta be up there on the coolness factor. I love this guy. I never use him enough because I never get Growlithe early enough. And the other problem is I run a Charizard team, but I think I'd definitely be down to run Arcanines going forward. I'm not even a dog guy, but I can respect the hell out of Arcanine. So, cheers, bro. Let the dogs run. Who's next? Poliwhirl. You suck. Poliwag's at least cute, so you're low neutral. High on the derp factor. You're like, I think I'd rather run a Golduck at this point than run the Poliwhirl. But Poliwrath we'll talk about, but Poliwhirl, I just don't go like, all right, this is going to be the team maker here is Poliwhirl. Not at all. Kadabra though? See, now I'm not like disliking Kadabra as much because as Abra, I had problems with Abra because of like the teleport mechanic, the what are you. I still go what are you for Kadabra, but it's undeniable that you are a great addition to a team, even if you don't do the trade for Alakazam. What are you though? I still don't get it. Are you a psychic cat? Is that what you are? Are these cats? Then why are they psychic? Is this their attempt to keep up with Arcanine with like some like cat hair thing? I'm trying to make it make sense. You're higher than do I like you even? The spoon, the kinetic spoon. I think I have too many questions. And you know what? I think you're so overused, Kadabra, Alakazam. And why would I use Kadabra knowingly when I could use Alakazam, but I have to because of a trade lock sequence. I think that bothers me especially. I wish that you could do away with those trade sequence things, or like I just had a setup. I have 2 DSs, so a DS and a 3DS. So I mean I could do trades, but nah, I don't love Kadabra. I'll still use them, but as far as some of these anthropomorphic guys, I think they're higher. Probably take Primeape over you even. And then the defense stat is super weak. I used to think that you and Alakazam were like unbeatable, but I'd still use you. You know, I do like you. You're fine. You're over these guys, that's for sure. Yeah, we can just kind of move on. It's a begrudging like. That's kind of weird, but it is what it is. Machoke, though, bodybuilder type. I'd feel more comfortable using a Machoke than a Kadabra. Oh, it's funny that a lot of these fighting types are like right next to each other. In fact, I put him over a lot of these guys. For some reason, he just gives me more formidable black belt, you know, strong. He's a little slow, but like he almost looks like a dinosaur too. I can kind of respect it and appreciate it. And I don't know. I don't use him a lot, but I think he's higher up here for me for sure. I'm surprised. Why do I have Primeape under Mankey? That doesn't make sense. Even though I'm done with Mankey, I think he's here. So yeah, Machoke's higher than these guys. He's higher than Snorlax right now. This is kind of an interesting mix-up for me. I don't know. I don't know where he falls here. He might be over Arbok, but maybe not. I'm more confident in him than Venomoth, but these two, this is a toss-up. We can just kind of leave this for now, but this is a good spot for him. He's a high like. Wow, we're getting the last bit here. That's awesome. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 44. 6, 8, 50. The last 50. All right. It's been like 35 minutes. Maybe we can just kind of knock this out. Well, let's just enjoy the sounds of lavender for a second. We got some derpers here. Weeping Bell. Close your mouth, my guy. Oh, please. But then he'd look even worse. Oh, no. I don't like Weeping Bell. But he's so much more usable than so many of these guys. But you're really low. You're really low. You're here with Nidorina. Nidorina looks cooler than you. You just look so... Oh, you look like something out of a cartoon. Oh, Bellsprout I can kind of forgive, but... And the evolution... It is such a linear looking evolution. Like, this is... It just looks like you grew up. Like... You know, and we can't all be blessed with good looks, you know? I get it, but... put on some makeup or something, Weeping Bell. This is why they made the cute competition in Gen 4 or whatever. So they can decorate your Weeping Bell. Oh, no. Oh, Tentacruel. Why do you look like a Muppet or something? You're giving me the Drowsy vibes. I used to be more excited about running a Tentacruel. I'm kind of not nowadays. But I still respect you, like the water poison type. I think in future gens, you make more sense. When Fairy was introduced or whatever. But you were also, like, incredibly common. I think I'd rather run a Golduck than you at this point. So let's leave Tentacruel kind of in the neutral. I have no feelings about you at this time. I always wanted a shiny Tentacruel to, like, go through the luxury of catching one. But, yeah, that never happened. So much for that. Next up, we got Graveler. I think I like Geodude more. Kind of neutral on you. You're incredible XP fodder, which I appreciate so much in the late game with my grass and my water types. And even if I have an ice type, I mean that too, but I usually don't. But you kind of suffer the same thing as Kadabra, where it's like, I would rather just have Golem by this point. I don't think Machoke suffers in this way. And... You're so slow. The self-destruct explosion thing is bothersome. I think Rhyhorn has a coolness factor. I think Pidgeotto does too. Krabby does. Zubat does. But maybe not Golbat. And you two belong in the cave together. Yeah, so Graveler, you're kind of just high neutral. I'm not like thrilled about you, but you're definitely over a lot of these guys. Technically all of them, but oh, Rapid Dash. You're like right there with Ponyta for me. I'm not super excited about you. I just can't think of a good moveset for you. The look is better though, that's for sure. You're a good looking Pokemon, but I think I'd be more interested in trying to run a Parasect than you though. Slowbro, that's the homie. We love Slowbro. I even said it myself. We love Slowbro. He's up here. Yeah. So Derp works for some Pokemon and not others. Slowbro is one of them, as well as Slowpoke. These guys are just kind of chilling homies, and I like the I caught a Shelder on my tail. I do question what is this? This is like a crustified Shelder on the back, but I don't question it so much. It's literally just Slowpoke standing up. Slowpoke grew up into a fine, mature young man, and he did his fishing, and he's done with his fishing these days. And Slowbro will dominate so much of the game for you with the Psychic Water typing. I have big respect for Slowbro. He's probably up here. Despite being slow, it's in his name, right? He leans into it. The curse and amnesia make him so tanky. You could rest him up. I don't usually do that. I don't like that kind of mechanic. But water or with surf, psychic, you just got some very strong special attack moves. And I don't know if there's anything that will boost his special attack. Maybe a nasty plot. I don't think he gets that though, and that's a later gen thing. So. But that's okay. You could run him a Choice Scarf. There's so many ways to run him. I run him more than Kangaskhan, but I think Kangaskhan's higher just for the coolness factor. I'd be so curious to run the Kangaskhan. It's so rare. Slowbro's not rare. But between him, Scyther, oh shoot, that's hard. These three belong on the team together. That's the thing. So it doesn't really matter how I organize these three. All three are awesome. So Slowbro's peak Pokemon. Where to next? Magneton. I kind of never run you. It's just you're so slow. You do get Levitate, which makes you impervious to the ground, but I'm not yes, magnets. I think we can blame Magneton and Magnemite for some of the lazy Pokemon designs. I never really thought about Gen 1 as originating some of the laziness, but I do think that if they're getting away with magnet Pokemon in the first game, how far off is that really from Trash Bag in Gen 5? It's not. So, but I also don't care. I'm kind of just neutral about that fact in this one. I'm not offended. So you're fine. You're fine in neutral. Dodrio. Back to the genetic mutation bird Pokemon. You're just right there with Doduo. Another lazy one, Dodrio. Roadrunner's not bad, but I don't get the head thing. I would never use you to fly, which I think about my flying Pokemon for. Tri-Attack is what I think of for you, and even then, this is such a random move. I don't love it. Dugong. You're higher than Dodrio, and higher than the Magnet Boys. But I also don't much care about you. You're a better looking Pokemon than a lot of these guys. But you also suck. You have the Golduck problem. Yeah, you're Ice type, but what am I thinking about for you? Aurora Beam? I guess you give him Ice Beam or Blizzard, but... Oof, Dugong. Nah. You're just neutral. Muck. Holy he's Muck the Schmuck. Come on, Muck's a badass. I love Muck. I really do. I think this is a great Pokemon. We got our first poison in the love. Let's go. He is just peak poison type. Oh, man. This is what I think of when I think of, like, the poison type you do not want to mess with in Gen 1. I mean, the minimize thing is annoying, but you can run some great stuff. The gunk shot, when they made that move, was perfect for him. Sludge, toxic, just the health stat overall. I think if it's fair to, if you have minimize, you could run one minimize on him. That's fine. Muck is just, and before steel typing, like this guy, he really did some numbers on some teams. So Koga's Muck. You know what Muck rhymes with? Cluck, and that's the chicken that he's next to. Anyways, I'm joking. Muck is great. Come on. You're up here with the slow bro, but I don't. Are you over slow bro? Maybe for coolness. Nah, see, I have a hard time putting you over Scyther, but even then, Scyther doesn't stand a shot against you. But do I have Muck over starters and Cubone? This is like weird. I have like 4 cuties here, and then like Kangaskhan, Slowbro, Scyther, Pinsir. Yeah, see, this is gonna need to get mixed up a little bit. We'll think about that. But Muck belongs in love. I love Muck. I love Muck. What could I say? Who's next? I'm losing track. I can't even see this thing. Cloyster. Nope, I don't care about Cloyster. You're too slow for me. Oh, did I forget to loop the music again? Hold on. All right, I had another major technical malfunction here. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know where I left off. What did I do? What have I done? Oh my gosh. Cloyster. There you are. Yeah, you're right under Parasect. I think I'd be more curious about Parasect than you at this point. You are formidable, but what's up with the horn in the middle of the clamshell? I don't know. And another one where it's like, let's reveal just like this dumb face. Oh well. Haunter. Ooh. I like Haunter. See, Haunter I feel the same as I do about Machoke, in a sense. Which makes sense, Ghastly's up here. Where I don't care if I run a Haunter before evolution. Maybe it's because he is pretty formidable, but also because, like, he's just got the coolness factor, too. Like, yeah, Gengar's going to be awesome, but Haunter, like, just the floating ghost type. I think Gengar loses that a little bit. Haunter's probably over Ammonite. He's probably over Raichu, if I'm going to be honest. Raichu has potential here, but Haunter we just know is super cool. Over Growlithe. I think I like him more. Knowingly. He's got to be over Spearow. So I love Haunter? Or I just really like him. So these guys would both belong in a really like for me. Pretty clearly. With Kabuto closing off the love. Yeah, so I'm feeling that. That makes sense to me. Hypno. Hypno. I really don't like Hypno. I don't like Hypno because, like, you have, like, very limited opportunity for Psychic types in this game. And this is a pure Psychic. He's a bit easier to catch. But, again, he's a what Pokemon? What is he? A hypnotist Pokemon? And he sucks. I can't think of what he gets that's good. Zen Headbutt is not a good move. Stats are whack. I don't like Hypnosis Pokemon. I think I intensely dislike you. You're pretty high up there. You're not like the most annoying to deal with, but I think you might be the worst. I think I'm more offended by you than by... Well, definitely these guys don't offend me as much because they're like so like young and precious Pokemon. Tangela offends me, Lickitung offends me, Farfetch offends me, and Hypno offends me. Well, it doesn't really matter what order you have these for in, but they all offend me. Like, it's the most disappointing thing to like invest into Drowsy into Hypno for him to just kind of suck. So sorry, Hypno, you're low. Kingler. See, I like Kingler. Great design. A little slow, but you can deal with that. Higher than Kadabra. He belongs right here with the fighters. He looks like one of them. And the fact that he's a water crab hammer guy, there's not many guys that have like a move that is so signature to themselves. Crab hammer being kind of an awesome one. So I can respect that from the Kingler. He's not the king in the game, but he's the Kingler. That's for sure. Where to next? Electrode. I hate Electrode. No, I don't. See, I like the Mimic Pokemon. And he is very usable. Very usable. He's so fast. I think he is one of the fastest in the game. Thunderbolt being a great move to have on him. I actually don't know if he gets it, though. I think he gets Thunder, though. I think even though Raichu's going higher for me, like, lately, Electrode's just kind of up there. But I don't know if he's cooler than some of these guys. Haunter is arguably cooler. The fact that you can kind of curse Pokemon and do some damage to them as well. But Electrode is not to be messed with. And another great Mimic type. It's always a surprise running into an Electrode from a Pokeball. So, I like some Electrode. But Like is kind of perfect. I think that's exactly where I want him. Executor is going to be a Like. There's not too many grass guys I like. But he's over the starters. The fact he is like a palm tree is kind of cool. It would be cool if there were like doppelganger palm trees you could run into that were Exegutors. And I don't know how I feel about Egg Bomb or whatever. See, the pre-evolution's kind of whack, like just eggs or whatever. But then you have a palm tree like of eggs, which is stupid because these should be more like coconuts, but whatever. And you got something awesome going. I have run one before. Pretty exciting. They are slow, but like Sunny Day, Solar Beam, Psychic. Just good setup. You could do whatever you want for the fourth move. Design-wise, even though I like the Mimic aspect of Electrode, I think that Executor is kind of cooler. You don't see there's not too many vegetation Pokemon except for like Oddish. So yeah, Executor is cool. All right, we got some Elite Four music here going for Marowak. Marowak the champ. Oh, he's bringing a smile to my face. See, I was curious. I thought I'd like him less than Cubone, and I might, but it's not too far off design-wise. The skull comes in more fully. I don't like that the eye blends with the skull. So from a design standpoint, I actually prefer Cubone, and it does bump him down. He's definitely, like, Kabuto has a better look. Pinsir has a better look. Scyther has a better look. But I'm not hating it. I think it's fine, but it does bump him down below Love to like a Like for me. I just wish that this look, maybe it's just because I'm seeing it like here on this tier list. I'm gonna look at a sprite. This is the fairest way I can think to do this. Marowak Gen 1 sprite. It still blends with the skull, but it looks better. In the future gens, it looks worse. That's a great looking sprite, though. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about this. All things considered, it still kind of keeps him in this low love, high like. He's a really like. I do really like Marowak. I would use him. Or her. I'm thinking about the Mama Marowak, but yeah, it's a shame that Marowak's not higher. Who's next? Weezing. Yeah, I like Weezing a lot. You are formidable. You're kind of monstrous, but Muck does take the edge, and I'm not putting Weezing over Scyther and Pinsir. That feels wrong. But I've never really run a Weezing, so I'd be curious too. And your shiny sprite looks great. You're another Team Rocket monster. Like, I kind of appreciate that. There's something about the Team Rocket team that gets overlooked a little bit. I know they're all poison, but like, there's some good poison. Good poison, you know? Rhydon. I got respect for Rhydon. See, I think I put Rhydon over Marowak design-wise. I really like him. Really tough. The quadruple weakness, though, sucks, but you can kind of deal with that. The problem is water and grass like are so common. And ice, all of those are doing 4x damage. So rock ground is a horrible typing, but you make up for it with a great defense and attack. So you catch any other Pokemon and they're done. They're done against the Rhydon. The slowness is problematic though. But design-wise, it's like you're so cool. Marowak probably takes the edge over you though. I'd probably use Marowak over you. And Haunter. But Rhydon's just more formidable than Electrode. So yeah, you're still up here. I still really like you. Seadra. Seadra ain't it. I'm neutral about you. Same way I feel about Horsey. You're a little higher. Still kind of dumb though. There's nothing to you to Gen 1 that's so remarkable. I don't go, yes, Seadra. Now, I'm offended by Seaking. Seaking bothers me just because, like, you know, we're talking Rod Pokemon, and so much of it's Magikarp, and then you're lucky to get a Goldeen, and then Seaking is the evolved form of that. What a waste. What a dumb waste. This is, so Magikarp's useless, but Seaking's the true useless one, because Magikarp is really not useless in that it becomes, like, the ultimate like Pokemon Gyarados, whereas Seaking is just, and the nerve to call it a king at the bottom. Oh. You might be the most offensive, more offensive than Hypno. I didn't think we'd have two below these guys today, but Seaking really bothers me. I would hate to run it. I would hate to run a Seaking on my team. It's not about do I hate Seaking. I would hate to run Seaking on my team. Probably Hypno. I would hate to run Hypno. I would be really bothered by that. I would hate to have Tangela. I would hate to have Lickitung, and I would hate to have Farfetch. These are the hate tier. I officially hate these Pokemon. I hate them. There you go. We did it. We acknowledged it. We acknowledged the hatred. All right, good. It was hard to do, but we did it. Starmie. Star who? Starmie. Definitely more formidable, but this is going to sound so strange. The lack of eyes makes it very hard for me to like feel anything for this Pokemon. I don't feel that way for Zubat because it makes sense. Like the Sonar Bat would not have eyes. But like every other Pokemon, just look at their eyes. You see them. You see eyes. Staryu has a crystal. So does Starmie. And so this always kind of turned me off to these two. I just don't feel anything for them. It's very strange. Even Magnemite. It's got an eye. Very strong. I don't know. It's not my type. I feel so weird doing Gyarados right now because he's going straight to the top. It's a rite of passage to have a Gyarados on the team. It doesn't matter what gen I'm playing. I want Gyarados on the team. He warrants the weight for the Magikarp grind. He is like the strongest water type to me, and he's just kind of a perfect Pokemon. The fact in Gen 2 they have the red Gyarados. You know, I still run blue Gyarados in that game. I think I prefer that. There's something cool to the red Gyarados, but he's just a mythical monster. And quadruple weakness to electric doesn't matter too much to me because electric is not as common. And everything else is made up for. The Aqua Tail, you could run Earthquake on him. The lack of a good flying type move kind of is problematic, but I mean, in future gens, I guess they address that. Maybe Hurricane or something. In Gen 1, if you run Hyper Beam as a physical attack, kind of awesome. Man, I just need Gyarados on my team. Unfortunately, the sprite is not doing it justice, but Gyarados is always, like, #1 on my team. I just want to pull up a Gyarados sprite just to see it. Incredible. Love, love, love. I love my Gyarados. That's my spirit Pokemon. Big heart. I think we got Gen 2 music playing now. Nice. Who's next? We're finishing this today. Oh, we got the Eevees. This is going to be easy. Easy for Eevee. Vaporeon. It's the perfect specimen. He's definitely over Persian. Definitely over Dugong. Over these guys. Over Sandslash. But in terms of coolness, kind of just like a... I guess it looks like a mermaid, which is... I could understand some people loving that. I just kind of feel whatever about it. I'll run it because it's strong, but I don't necessarily love Vaporeon. Jolteon is a bit cooler. But I think I like Voltorb conceptually a bit more. Flareon is probably the coolest of these guys. But then he's weak. It's crazy that Eevee's higher than, like, all these guys. Flareon's gotta be the most logical upgrade from Eevee in Gen 1. And I guess you could get Fire Blast as a TM. You could maybe get Flamethrower and teach it that. Yeah, maybe I need to run a Flareon more. He's probably like right there with Raichu in that respect. I'm gaining a little respect for Flareon just seeing this. Right there with the Growlithe. So if I can't get the Arcanine, then Flareon is probably the move. Okay, wow, we got some great ones left. But we are at about an hour, so I kind of want to close it there, especially because there were so many technical hiccups here. And I want to continue this with one last video next time. So you can look forward to Kanto tier list final forms, final evolutions next time. Only on Majora T. Toodaloo.